What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel Learn with Selassie. So in this lesson, we'll be looking at some few hover effects you can use for buttons in CSS. See you guys. Welcome back, guys. So this is what we'll be doing today. This cool hover effects for the buttons, as you can see. So we'll be doing all this in CSS. Okay, so let's go and open our HTML file in brackets. So we'll start with the HTML. So first I'm going to create a div. Okay, so this will be, I'll give it an ID of wrapper. So we are going to have all the buttons inside this. So let's start by creating the various buttons. So we have 4 buttons in this. So we'll start with the first one. So I'm going to create another div. Okay. So inside of this, we'll have the first button. So we have button. Okay. Then type will be button. Okay. And then this will be button 1. All right. So inside of this, we'll have some class and ID we'll be using. So the first one will be the ID, which is button 1. Okay, and then I'm going to create a class. So for the class, we'll have button. Okay, so button. I just need to get a spelling of this. Okay, so this is going to be for the first button, and then I'm going to copy this whole okay, I'm going to create another div actually for the second button. So for that we'll have, I'll copy this and then paste inside. Okay, so the ID will be button 2. Okay, and then the name will be button 2 as well. So this for the first button, this for the second one, and then one more for, sorry, we have 2. So this is for the third one. So the third one, the class is still going to be button, and then we'll change the ID to button 3. Okay, but inside of this we'll have some SVG elements for the animation. So to do that, I'll clean this, and then we'll type SVG. Okay, open and close, and then inside this I'll throw in some few attributes. Okay, the X value is going to be 0. Okay, and then the Y value is also going to be 0, and then the fill will be none. Okay, none, and then the width will be 100%. Okay, and then the height is also going to be 100%. And then I'll close this. Okay, and then after the SVG, the closing this thing, we'll have the value button 3. Okay, so this is for the first, this is for the third one, and then for the third button, the last button, I'll copy this. Okay, outside the div here, I'll paste this. Okay, and then I'll change this to button 4, and then the value also will be button 4. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I'll save it, and then let's see what we have so far. So this is how it's looking. As you can see, it's not looking that good now. So we'll head straight to the CSS and then start the styling for all the buttons. So for this, I'll come to CSS, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to style the wrapper first, the whole thing. So I'll just put a padding top 15 em, and then padding left, I'll make this, let's say 9 em. Okay, and then I'm going to give a general styling for all the buttons. Okay, so we'll have button, and then the background color is going to be transparent. Okay, transparent, and then the border will be none. Okay, and then when you hover on the button, on hover, it's still going to be the same thing. I'll just copy this whole thing, and then I'll add one more, which is the cursor, so it will be pointer. Okay, and then for the class itself, the button class dot btt button, the display will be inline block. Okay, and then the padding will be 20 and then 0. Okay, position will be relative, and then I'll keep the color to this, like a violet kind of thing. So the code is ECF0F1. Okay, so let's save it and then reload the page again and see what we have so far. As you can see, nothing is showing. Okay, so let's start by styling the first button. Okay, so I'll create the ID name is button 1. Okay, and then the border first, I'll give border of 2px solid, and then the color code will be 431777. Okay, and then the color itself will be the same. So I'm just going to copy this and paste here. Okay, and then overflow will be hidden. Okay, and then I'm going to throw this for the animation, so it will be WebKit. Okay, then transition, and then we have all, so it's going to be 0.3 seconds, ease in, out. Okay, so this is for the animation when you hover, and then and then transition. This is just to make the animation work in all the browsers. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, and what I'll do is I'll just copy this, the same thing, and then I'll paste here, and then the last one will be transition. Okay, and then I'll paste the same thing. Okay, and then let's go to the next thing. So button 1 before, we will have content to be empty. Okay, and then the z index, we'll keep it at -1. Okay, for the z index, and then the position will be absolute. The width will be 100%, as well as the height also. Okay, 100% for the height, and then top will be 0. Okay, and then the left will keep it -100%. So the animation is going to come from the left side and come inside. So the background color would be the same value. So I'm just going to copy this and then paste here for the background. And then I'll come here and copy this whole thing. Okay, and then I'll paste. So that's it. So the next thing we'll do is for the hover. So I'm just going to copy this whole thing. Okay, and then hover. Once you hover, do the color. So the color will be F01. Okay. Okay, hope I'm getting the color right. Okay, and then the last thing we'll do for this is the hover before. Okay, hover before. Okay, and then left will make it 0. I'm going to save this, and then we'll go to the page, reload. Yeah, so I think we need to put a little more padding in the button. So I think we are missing it somewhere. So I think, yeah, we'll make this 10 px and then reload. Yeah, so I think we should just make this 20. Yeah, so as you can see, we are done with the first one, looking so beautiful. So for the second one, what we are going to do is I'll come here and then I'll copy this whole thing. Okay, then I'll come down and then I'll paste. Okay, so we'll change the value to button 2. Okay, and then what we'll do is I'll put margin top here, 3 here. Okay, this is going to be the same. So for this, we'll change the value to -100%, since it's going to come from the top to down, and then the value of this, the left will be 0. Okay, and then we'll come down and then change this to top. Very simple. I'll save it and then I'll go back to the file, reload it, and here we go. So you can see we have the animation for the first button and then the second one. Okay, so the next one will be this. Okay, so let's move straight to the third button. So for that, we'll have button 3, and then the background, I'll just copy this because the background is going to be the same. And then max width, I'll give, let's say 150. Okay, and then the width will be 100%. Okay, I'll save this, and then we'll now start the SVG for the button 3. So copy this SVG, and then position will be absolute. Okay, and then left will have 0, and top also will be 0, and then the width will be 100%, and 100%, and the height will be 55 px. Okay, so move on to the next one. Okay, we need to add the fill and the stroke and all that. So the fill will make it none. Okay, and then the stroke will be this color. Yes, so I'll copy this, and then the stroke width will be 1, and then stroke dash array will be 422, 0. Okay, and then let's add the hover. So we'll come down, copy this, and then once you hover on this, the background color will be transparent. Okay, and then the color will be this. Okay, this, and then the next thing we'll be doing, we'll add some few more stuff. So over, and then the stroke width will now be 5. Okay, and then the stroke dash array will be 15, and then 301. Okay, and then we have stroke dash offset. Okay, offset will make this 48. All right, then I'm going to copy this whole thing here in the transition. Okay, I'll come down and then I'll paste, but we need to make few changes. So the first one will be the WebKit all. We'll change this to 1.35 seconds. Okay, I'm going to remove this, and then cubic, okay, and inside this the value will be 0.19. okay, and then we have 1 comma, and then 0.22 comma, and then we have 1. Okay, so I'll just remove this, and I'll copy this whole thing, come down and then put this, and then we remove this, and then I'm going to save it, and I'll reload the page. Nice. So this is the second effect. So we have the first one, the second one, sorry, the third one. So as you can see, this is looking good. So we'll move on to the next one, which is the fourth and the last one. So let's go straight to the CSS and start writing button 4, and then the color will be the color we've been using all through. Okay, and then the overflow will be hidden. All right, and then let's move straight to the before and the after. So I'll copy this, come down, copy, paste, sorry, have before, and then we'll have after. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put in the content. Okay, make this empty, come down, position will be absolute, and then the width will be 100%. Okay, 100% width, and the height I'll make it 3px. All right, 3px, and then the background color, we have to give the background color, so we'll use the same color here. So I'll copy this and paste for the background, and we'll have top 0, and then the left will be -100. Okay, so I'll go up again to button 2, and then I'll copy the transition here, and then I'll come and paste it right after the left. Okay, so two more things we need to do. We'll copy this button 4. Okay, and then after, I will make the bottom 0, and I'll give the value important to just overwrite every other thing, and then the top will be auto, and I'll make this also important. Okay, and then the right will be -100%, and then the left will be auto. Okay, and the final thing we need to do here is we need to button 4 add the hover effect. Okay, before, let's make the left 0 before, and I'll copy the same thing. Okay, and come down, and then change this to after. So after, we'll make the right 0. So I'll save this and then go, and then I'll reload, and voila, you can see the effect. So this what we have so far. So these are some few hover effects you can use for buttons in CSS when you are doing your website. So we have this, and this. So it's a very simple one. You can go through, and then if you have any doubts, you can leave it in the comment section. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and stay tuned. I'll be coming back soon with more tutorials. Peace out.